Hey guys, how's it going? I'm covered in paint because this is my paint shirt. I just got back from painting. I'm gonna hop in the shower, but I had this train of thought driving home. I wanted to share with you, just off the cuff, like kind of a raw rant for you. So this is about health and what I think kind of lies at the heart of it. Just some interesting observations about myself and about other people, things that are useful. I think that if you're anybody who's interested in health at all, or maybe not, you'll probably take something away from this. So, um, yeah, my personal experience, I didn't really play sports. I didn't do anything health conscious really until I was about 14, and I just started doing like push ups, sit ups, and curls and stuff, and that was enough to get me going, and that's plenty. I mean, like, don't make it complicated. If you're just starting, um, just find something to do. Find something that you want to do that you'll actually do. Most important thing you can do. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but uh, and it's become quite a big thing for me. Writing a book and trying to get all these things worked out. So basically, what I want to say is a couple things. First, I think most people. Well, let's address this first. I think that when it comes to your health, I'm so tired of hearing that word. Honestly, it drives me nuts. But okay, you want to be healthy, right? When people say like they want to be healthy or that's not healthy for you, it's usually what they say is that's not healthy for you. They don't talk about stuff that is healthy. It's like, you know, or I've heard that's not healthy for you or whatever. People don't always say like that's healthy. Like, oh, that's so healthy of you. Nobody says that shit. Anyway, so most people when it comes to health, um, and your well-being, it's about loving yourself, caring for yourself, um, providing for your needs, meeting your needs, um, and doing so you can meet the needs of others, right? So you can be a better contributor, so you can be a better father, son, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, right? I think when it comes to health, first and foremost, you can either work a little bit harder right now and to establish just a healthy lifestyle, or you can have an easier life and deal with um, you will get some kind of disease or health condition later. I mean, it's pretty much just the way it is at this point. Like, there's even something Chris Masterjohn was talking about, just saying like, well, if you live long enough to get cancer, then you know you'll probably get cancer. It's like one in two. I heard. I don't know if it's still like that, but anyway, if you live long enough and you don't get cancer, well then you'll get heart disease. And if you live long enough to get heart disease, but you don't get that, then you'll get, I don't know, probably like circulation problems, respiratory problems, or like hormone problems. I don't know. There's like a very predictable. You can look up stuff from Chris Masterjohn. He'll talk about it. You can hear him explain that. I heard that from somebody else too, but I can't remember where I heard it. So yeah, basically, if you don't get one disease, you'll get the next thing. So my argument is, you got two choices. You can either you can do a little bit of extra work now and learn to get yourself healthy and take care of yourself, or you can have an easier life and not worry about it and just get some problem in the future. It's really up to you. It's about delayed gratification. It's about stress tolerance, and I think that um, a lot of people, on the surface, they'd say, "Well, I don't want to get a disease." It's like, cool. So that means you get the other option. You got to work harder. Yeah, it kind of sucks. People don't want to do that. But the thing is, right? So you're going to work harder. You're going to have a healthy life so you don't get a disease. Wonderful. Truth is, most people already know what to do. And the basis of my book is kind of geared around Paul Chek's four doctors. And that's just happiness, diet, quiet, and movement. So when you put that into normal terms, he's borrowing from Hippocrates, by the way. Hippocrates had, I think, Dr. Happiness, Dr. Quiet, and Dr. Diet. He didn't have Dr. Movement because nobody moved, or people moved back then a lot. So now, because we don't move, Paul had to add that one. Anyway, I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. It makes sense. It's like, the king, warrior, magician, lover, all these fours, the four tenets or the three pillars or whatever the fuck, whatever shape, whatever structure you want to build with your analogies. Um, okay, my hair look good enough for you? Is that cool? my confidence was a little ruffled. Anyway, um, right. Most people know what to do. So you're gonna go with the option where you don't get a disease. You're gonna take care of yourself. Wonderful. But most people already know what to do. So you're gonna obviously people want to be happier. So there's something to aim at. People know they should sleep more. They know they should eat better, and they know they should move more. There's a lot of confusion around those things. Sleep's probably the easiest one. Just go the fuck to sleep when you're tired. Go to bed. It's not complicated. The sun goes down, you naturally get tired. Just whenever you feel done, go to sleep. Honestly, that there's not a whole lot to say about that one. There's more to say about like food and movement, about nutrition and movement, and about happiness and psychology and spirituality and social connection and belonging. Like there's a lot more to say about those things. So anyway, sleep. The reason there's not much to say about sleep is because it's pretty much the absence of doing. So it's hard to talk about nothing. It's hard to talk about not doing things. Anywho, people know what to do, right? So going with the healthy lifestyle instead of disease, and you already know what to do. So if you know what to do, why don't you do it? That's the big question. I think that as a coach or a therapist or whatever you are, if you're trying to help people improve their health, I think that we all should tip our hats to psychologists and people like that. Not so much psychiatrists, because medication, the whole big pharma is corrupt beyond belief, and medication does more harm than good in general. If you don't believe me, look into iatrogenics and just do what you will with those statistics. I mean, whether it's the third leading cause of death or the first, doesn't really matter, or the fifth, if you count COVID. I don't personally. I think most of the people, it's another argument, but most people have multiple things going on, is my point. And that's true. That's just a fact. Most people have multiple health problems. If they have one, they usually have multiple. So my point is, you already know what to do. Why don't you do it? Probably because you're lacking motivation. You don't really see a reason. Your life's comfortable. People play video games. I'm going to bring it home real quick here. So people play video games, and they enjoy that. People actually work hard at video games to get better. It's interesting, though, because I used to do this. In video games, one of the main premises of a video game is that you unlock something, that there's actually a challenge, and you have to unlock in your life. If you think about gaming analogous to life, it makes you wonder what in your life feels locked. What is it that you need to unlock? Do you feel chained by anything? Do you feel blocked, inhibited, restricted? Like there's something you can't shake, or something that's in your way, or a big mountain to climb, whatever. And it's interesting because people play video games to unlock things. They're playing, they're in some current homeostasis, they're in a familiar level or ability or whatever, familiar environment, context, right? If it's Call of Duty, you have guns, you have camos, you have attachments and perks and stuff, like you have all these, or spells and weapons, whatever it is, armor, but like it's not enough, you want more. So in order to get more, you have to face some kind of challenge, and you have to unlock the stuff you want. So people that play video games, a lot of people play video games or games of some sort, and the whole premise of a game is that there's a challenge to be dealt with. And it's interesting that people enjoy games so much because, the consequence is so little, it's negligible. Like in reality, people can play video games and they can put forth effort to overcome challenges because those challenges aren't real. So if they lose, there's nothing lost. Their life is still the same. But if you confront challenge in your real life and you fail, there's a bigger consequence, which is you have to admit that you failed and you tried. Maybe there's like public embarrassment. Other people saw you fail. So now, not only did you play the game, you played and put yourself out there, and you took on the challenge, but you failed and you didn't level up or whatever. In the game, it's a lot easier to level up too. They kind of design it that way. In case you're wondering, when you play games, it's designed so that leveling up is actually attainable and achievable, so that you'll keep playing and keep buying. So, yeah, it's just interesting that people like to play games so they can exist in a current playability, and then in order to get a new experience, they have to unlock the current way of things, and what's on the other side is usually more challenge. It's usually a similar experience, but a little bit different, and that subtle difference is enough to keep you playing, and it's usually a little more challenging, but people want more. They want more challenge. It's weird that we don't do this in our life, is my point. So to bring it all home, bring it all together here, if you don't want to get disease, start taking care of yourself. And you already know what to do. The question is, why don't you do it? And if you're currently playing any kind of game whatsoever, or you watch movies where people take on challenges, if you don't play video games or play board games or whatever, or games on your phone, if you watch movies, every plot has to have a, like, just study basic narrative and storytelling. Like, there has to be a plot arc. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes the lyrics and songs mean nothing. Sometimes it's just noise. It's just something to do. But I mean, when you really get engaged in a movie or you get engaged in a song or whatever, it's moving, and it's overcoming something, and it's changing for the better, hopefully, So if you are entertained by that challenge and that plot development, you would probably be entertained by that same development in your life. So find something that you love enough to change for. That's my take-home point. I'll leave it at that.